All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Micah Heimer. I'm the implementation manager here at ExpressDocs. I've been working very closely with Carmen over the last few weeks on building out this new custom print-on-demand platform for Wardley Real Estate. We're really excited to be sharing this with everyone today, so I appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedule to jump on this call today. This will be a recorded webinar training, and afterward I will be sending a video link over to Carmen, and she will be able to share that with anyone who needs access to this or wants to reference this again later. We're going to try to cover quite a bit of ground today. So obviously as we're going through, there's a couple different things you can do. One of them is you can submit questions through the GoToWebinar program that's been set up. You can submit questions that way. I likely won't be looking at all the questions over the course of the call, but I will be setting aside some time at the end of the call to look at any questions that have been submitted. So definitely don't hesitate to jump in with any questions. And as I said, this will be a recorded webinar, so don't feel obligated to memorize everything as we cover it today. We are going to share that link afterward, and you guys will be more than welcome to reference that after the fact if you have any questions on anything. So to go ahead and get started, what we're going to be looking at doing today is first off showing you guys how you can access the new print-on-demand platform. We'll then take a look at the platform itself. We will show you how to get around the websites, and then we'll take a look at putting together a couple different types of products. We'll look at putting together an order that you can have put together and shipped out, and then we'll also take a look at a mailed order. So you can kind of look and compare it, the different ways that these products can be set up, and then show you how to get all the way to checkout with these. So to get started, to access the system, you're just going to want to go to your existing website, which is just thewardleyre.com. And then once you are here, scroll all the way to the bottom. You're going to want to go to the Agents Only login. You can go ahead and select that. This will open up your internal intranet's private login. You're going to want to just input your username and password here to take you into the Wardley dashboard. From here, you're going to see the Agent Welcome screen, and you're going to see all the different icons that you're likely already familiar with. But there will be a new one all the way over on the right-hand side called ExpressDocs. You're going to want to go ahead and select that one to pass through into the system. What this is going to do here is going to do a secure login that will pass through all of your information directly through into the ExpressDocs site, so you don't need to log in or create a new custom account. Now, one thing to note is the first time that you log in from here, it may prompt a confirmation, such as your office confirmation, so it'll ask you to confirm that your office information is correct. Once you click yes to confirm that, it will then officially create your account. And then going forward, once you've done that, you shouldn't see any other types of confirmations going forward. But just as an FYI, if you click that the first time, you may see an order confirmation. From there, it's going to deposit you here on the print-on-demand site. So you can see here there's quite a few different links and product categories here that you can take a look at. Before we get too far into the weeds on taking a look at all of these different categories here, let me first show you how to get around the site so you can get a better understanding of some of the key features in the system and just generally know how to get around the platform. So starting at the very top, you'll be able to reference your cart information. You can see I don't have any items in my shopping cart right now, but this would be in the event that I put together multiple orders that I want to check out all at the same time. Let's say I'm ordering some business cards and I'm also doing a direct mail campaign. I can put those orders together separately and then check out all at one time. Right now there's nothing in there, so I can't access that cart. To the right of that, you're going to see your account information. What you're going to see up here is going to be your name and then your office name. As you can see right now, I'm just in a demo account with a demo office right now, but you should see your name and office information up here. In the event that you are not seeing your name and office information up here, maybe you're seeing a different name or a different office, that just means there may have been some sort of issue with the single sign-on. Just reach out to us here at ExpressDocs, or you can reach out to Carmen, and we'll be able to get that that sorted really quickly with Delta Media, who manages the intranet, so that won't be an issue if you do encounter that. You can also log out of your account by clicking the Log Out button, or alternately, just closing your browser will automatically log you out of your account. Then over here on the far right-hand side, you're going to have a variety of options for support. We do offer a Tier 1 customer service to Wardley Real Estate, and what that means for all of you guys is that if you have any questions along the way, either while you're putting together an order, maybe after the fact that you've submitted an order, if you need help with something, we are here to help you out. You can email us at info@expressdocs.com to our support system, and we will be able to respond to those emails. There's a live chat button that you can select here. This is visible from any step within the site. This will open up and connect you directly into our customer service team, and someone will be able to live chat directly with you. Or if you prefer to just talk to someone directly, we do also have a toll-free support line that you can call, which is 866-977-3627. Now, the way this platform has been set up is you can access this site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can submit orders at any point in time. However, if you're going to need some assistance from our customer service department, just know that they do not run on a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week cycle. They're going to be just available during normal business hours. Those hours are Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then and then on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So again, you can place these orders or work on your orders at any point in time as you're available to, but if you need help from our customer service department, those are going to be the hours that they will be available to assist. Now, over here on the left-hand side, you can also see there's a variety of some different quick links showing you how to start a new order, how to access different types of delivery options, look at list building tools that may be available. The two primary links that you're going to want to pay attention to are going to be your pending orders and your order history. Now, what the pending orders are, those are going to be any job that you have started that you haven't actually submitted yet. Meaning, if I'm working on an order and I've started putting together a postcard and I'm input all the text that I want to use on this postcard, but maybe I'm waiting on the photos to be completed so I can upload those in. Well, what you could do is save that job, and then you'll be able to access it from your pending orders, and you can pick back up where you left off. You can see in my test account here, I have a ton of different orders in here from different types of testing that they've been doing. To open one up, I can just click the Place or Edit button to the left of the job name, and that'll open up that order for me, and then I'll be able to pick up where I left off. If I would like to remove a job from my pending orders, over on the right-hand side, you'll see there's a trash can icon. You can click that, and that will delete that job out of your pending orders. Now, it doesn't hurt to actually keep these jobs saved in your account, so don't feel obligated to have to delete these out, even if you decide later on that you are not going to actually submit an order. Now, once I've actually submitted a job, so let's say that postcard that I started that I was waiting on the photos for, let's say I get the photos, I add in those photos, and then I submit the job for checkout. What would happen is that job would disappear from here, this list of my pending orders, because that job is no longer pending. It's a completed job, and it would move those order details over to my order history. So here's where I can look at any jobs that have already been submitted for printing. So what we'll do, you can see in my test account, I don't have any completed orders in here, but how our system would work is if you do have completed orders, we're automatically going to sort the 5 most recent jobs right here. So you'll be able to see all of your order information. Things like your order ID number, you'll be able to look at the PDF proofs of your jobs. You can reference the artwork that was used on that job again. We are connected directly into the FedEx API, so if you're trying to track down, for example, some business cards and see exactly where they're at, you can pull up your tracking information from here. You can do a one-touch reorder. So maybe you order business cards and a year from now you need more. You could actually go into your order history, find that job, and then have it resubmitted with a one-touch. You also will have the ability to cancel any job that you've submitted as long as ExpressBox hasn't started printing that job yet. So what that means is, let's say, for example, you submit an order of business cards, and then after you submit it, you're looking at the proofs again in your job, and you realize that maybe you misspelled your name. What you can do is go into your order history, find that order number, and then cancel that job. Now, as long as we haven't started printing that job yet, what will happen is it'll automatically cut off that job from going to print. It'll automatically refund your credit card or billing invoice, whatever you have set up, and you'll be good to go. Now, in the event that ExpressBox has started printing the job, at that point, it will not give you the ability to be able to cancel it. So if you're going into your order history trying to cancel jobs that you've submitted in the past and it's not letting you, that means that job has probably already been printed. It may have already been shipped out. In a case like that, if you have questions and you're not sure, you can reach out to us through either that live chat or that toll-free number, and we'll be able to assist you from there. If you're having problems searching for your jobs, you can also use the search functionality here, and this will give you different parameters that you can search for in your order history. So things like the order name, maybe a property address, your order ID number if you have it, or you can even just specify a date range and then search for jobs in that date range. Now, at any point in time, you can go back to the home screen that you found at the beginning just by clicking this home button here. You'll want to use this to go back and forth in the browser. You don't want to use your back buttons in your browser, as that can lead to your browser timing out. So if you want to go back to the main screen, just click this home button, and that'll take us back here. Now, a couple other quick things we'll take a look at, and then we will get started on putting together some orders. So let's say you need to modify some information within your account. Well, you can do that by clicking on your name up in your My Account section. from here, you'll be able to modify information to do with your account. So things like your return address, your contact information that's visible here. You can set up default shipping addresses. You can modify headshots or upload headshots into your gallery. You can manage your address list or credit cards that you have on file. Basically, anything to do with your account, you'll be able to manage all of that right here within your account information here. Again, I'm just going to click the home button to take me back to the home screen. Now, taking a look at all of these products here, you can see there's different categories here on the home page. And then below each of those, you're also going to see subcategories for other products. So for example, under postcards, you're going to have things like small postcards, large postcards, extra large postcards, a variety of different types of postcards available under postcards. When you see a size that you like, if you click View All, you can then see some of the different template options that are available. So below there, I can also see different photo options and different layouts for these templates. So there's a wide variety of different templates that are available. And I can also jump into other categories over here on the left-hand menu. So if I want to jump over into flyers, I can move over into flyers or into trifolds or just a variety of different types of products, all right here from this home screen. Now, the majority of the products that you're going to see listed here on the home page are going to be specific to real estate, meaning that it's going to be all of your branded Wardley real estate content that's either things like flyers or brochures or business cards or postcards, door hangers, just a wide variety of products like that. If you're looking for more personal marketing pieces, so let's say, for example, maybe you want to send out a birthday card or a Christmas card, we put those into a special category for you guys. And that's going to be here. You'll see there's a personal marketing tab here at the top. You can click that to view all of the different personal marketing content that's available. Now, how this is different is most of the products that you're going to find in your personal marketing are going to be postcards. So it's primarily for direct mail. And on these designs, they've all been professionally put together. There's over 1,000 designs within the personal marketing category that'll automatically pull in your company branding on the back. So you really are just adding in your headshot and your custom comments that you want to add onto the piece. And other than that, the piece has already been put together for you. It'll automatically sort in this personal marketing category to whatever is the most current holiday or time of year that's coming up. So you can see right now I'm seeing there's a lot of different summer designs that are showing right now since we're just starting in summer. You can also see on the left-hand side there's a variety of seasonal holidays and content stuff that I can take a look at. Pretty much every major holiday you can think of, from Christmas, Christmas photo cards, Hanukkah, New Year's Day, spring forward or fallback reminders, it's all going to be here. You'll also find things like sports schedules for baseball and football, and those are updated throughout the course of the year, or even things like consumer tips, so recipe cards, tax tips, just a wide variety of different things. That's all going to be specific to if you just want to send out something that's a little bit more personal and not necessarily specific to a real estate account. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other content that's available here. One thing to note is the upload your own designs, just so that you're familiar with this. If you have any questions about this, these are going to be designs where you already have a custom PDF or print-ready file already put together for a specific type of marketing collateral. So let's say, for example, you've worked with the designer in the past to put together a custom 11 by 17 brochure. Or maybe you're a designer yourself and you've done something like that. Well, basically, this is where you could go to just upload in any custom artwork you have. So these are not customizable templates here. These are just going to be areas where you can upload in print-ready art files. So for example, if I had that 11 by 17 brochure, I could just find my brochures. And then I'll see a variety of different sizes in here. So there's 11 by 17 horizontal. There's some of them that are in vertical. I can find whatever one fits the specifications that my PDF is ready for. Select that, and then just upload in that custom PDF. The rest of the products that you're going to find here on this home screen, though, are going to be variable templates, meaning that the design has all been put together and you're really just going to be customizing it. So let's go ahead and take a look at customizing some of these designs here so you can see how it would work. So let's get started by putting together a mailed order. So we're going to take a look at some postcards. So I'll go ahead and select postcards. And let's say I was going to work on a large postcard, which is an 8.5 by 5.5. I could just click View All to see what options I have there. Maybe I just want to do a single photo, so I can go ahead and select a single photo design. From there, I'll also be able to see different backset options that are available to me on my postcards. So if I don't want to use one with a headshot, I can do that. If I would like to do one with headshots, I have different layouts that I can choose from. You can just pick and choose whichever option you want to use, and you can see there's a variety of designs, and you'll see it's highlighted with a little check mark next to it with whichever backs that you'd like to use. You'll also see a pricing breakdown. You'll be able to see it with standard mail postage. You can view it with first class mail postage or with shipped rates. And as you can see, as you're printing more of these, we are passing along the cost savings, because as we print more of these, our cost to produce them goes down, and those savings automatically get applied to you. So whether you're ordering 25 postcards or 2,500 postcards, you can kind of just pick and choose whatever quantity you need, and then the price will automatically update just based on whatever your final quantity is. You can move forward by using this next button to keep moving forward with your order. One thing to notate, if you need to move back and forth in your order, you just want to make sure you're using these next or back buttons. Again, like I said, just avoid using the back button in your browser. That can lead to the order timing out. So just make sure as you're moving back and forth, it doesn't hurt to move back and forth with making changes. Just make sure you're using the next and back buttons in the system. So now we're ready to customize this postcard. You can see the template that we've selected. Here's this one photo large postcard. And all the editing that we're going to do is really just on a single page. We're just going to be walking through a few different steps, and you'll see the steps here at the top. And the first step that it's going to ask you to do is to name the job. It's going to automatically pull in the template name here, but I'd recommend that you just customize this to whatever you think is going to be the most beneficial to allowing you to remember this job later. So just as an example, what I would usually recommend is you would name the job the property address of the piece that you're working on. We don't actually print the job name anywhere on the design. Really, this is just going to be for your personal records. So if you're looking at your pending orders or your order history, this is exactly how that job is going to appear in there. So just give it a name that you'll actually be able to remember later, or make it easier for you to search for it later. I'm just going to call this a test order for now. And when I'm ready to move forward, just use that next button to keep moving forward. Next, it's just asking me to verify my contact information that it's going to display on here and my office return address. And you can see I'm just in my demo account, so it's just pulling in demo information for my name and my office address. But this should automatically pull in your office return address information and your return address information that we're getting through that single sign-on. Now, traditionally, through the single sign-on, it's not going to pass through a lot of additional details. So for example, if you have a custom website, maybe you have some special titles or designations, this is a good area where you can come in and add in those designations right here into here. And you can see each of these lines are customizable, and you're really just choosing up to 8 different lines of personal contact information that you want to include as your contact information on the piece. If you make any changes to this contact information, just click the Save as Default button here at the bottom, and what will happen is next time when you select a piece, anything that you've added in to your contact information, that's automatically what we'll use going forward. And again, just use that next button to keep moving forward. So now it's asking me to choose from headshots that are in my headshot gallery, and I'm going to need to add in a photo, because obviously on this postcard it has one photo that I need to upload in onto the front. The way our designs are set up, if you don't pick any headshots, we'll automatically just move over your contact information to the left, and we'll just display your name and contact information. However, if you have headshots, you can include up to 2 headshots on pretty much every single marketing collateral piece. If you only use 1 headshot, we'll automatically adjust the design to just fit 1 headshot. If you have a new account, you're probably not going to have any headshots saved on file. You can see right now I have 1 headshot automatically saved in my gallery here, which I can select from. You can have as many headshots as you want in your gallery. So if you work with other agents, you can also save their headshots in your gallery, so you can select them very easily. But let's say, for example, you just started the account and you're not seeing any headshots in your gallery. Well, adding them in is really easy. What you're going to need to do is just click the Upload Headshots button. And now you're just going to need to browse on your computer for where you have that headshot saved. So I'm just going to browse on my computer, find the headshot that I would like to use. If you want to make it your default headshot, meaning you want to make this headshot the headshot that's automatically selected for you anytime you're placing an order, just check the default headshot button here, and that'll make that the default headshot going forward on my orders. When you're ready, just click Insert into Headshot Gallery. What it'll do now is refresh my job, and now when I go to select Headshot 2, I'll be able to see there's that other headshot that I've added into my gallery here. So I could select that as my second headshot if I wanted to have 2 headshots on this piece. You'll also have the ability to do things like rename the headshot, crop it. You can delete it out of your gallery. You can download it, rotate it, or set it to grayscale. So you have some basic photo editing capabilities all right here within the tool itself. One thing to note too is once you've uploaded in your headshot, we're going to automatically save that headshot on file for you going forward. So if you upload in that headshot for that first time, you never have to upload that headshot again. We'll automatically get that taken care of for you going forward. Now, for photos, we don't automatically save photos since these are traditionally different for every piece that you're working on. So what we're going to need to do here is to add a photo to my gallery. You can see right now this image photo area is red, and if I click on it, it won't let me select anything. So I need to go ahead and upload or import some photos into my job. So I'll choose Upload or Import, and I have a few different options I can do. I can browse for where I would have these property photos saved, and that's going to be just like what we saw with the headshot where you're just browsing to where you have that photo saved. I can also pull in photos from previous jobs. So for example, I can open up, find a job that I worked on previously, and I can see photos that I pulled in on those other jobs. So let's say, for example, I did a just listed postcard a month ago. Now that property is sold, and I want to do a just sold postcard. Well, what I can do here is I can find the job that I started a month ago, and I can just import the photos right from that other job right into my new job. So I don't have to go find wherever I've saved those photos or dig up, through my old folders trying to find them. Basically, it just makes it a little bit easier for you to import photos from any other jobs that you've already started in our system. As you can see, once you find them, if you have multiple photos, you can just select as many as you want by clicking on them, and that'll select the photo. If you use a professional photography service company, we are integrated with about 25 different professional photography companies right now, companies like VHT or Virtual Tour. What we do here is if you have a subscription to one of those services, you can use your email address to log directly into your account and then automatically import photos right from your professional photography company into the site. Now, traditionally, though, the primary way that you will get photos is likely going to be through the upload. That is about 90% of the time what most people are going to need to do. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Just like before, I'm just going to browse to where I have those photos saved. You can search for different photos, find whichever photo you would like to use, and then click Insert into Order Gallery. And just like the headshot, it's going to refresh my job, and now you can see it's automatically selected that photo for me. And just like before, if I need to make changes to it, cropping it, rotating it, or downloading it, I can do all that right here. So now I'm ready to move forward with customizing my content here. You can see there's a variety of options that I have in here. And every field that is customizable, there's a bolded field above it that'll tell me what exactly that I'm filling out here. So I just need to fill out this content. So the first step it's asking me for is my address information. So just as an example, I'm going to put in my office address here in Fort Worth, Texas. You can put in a back headline, the pricing information. It'll default to just showing price available upon request. You can really put in any price that you want here. You can put in custom headlines. I'm obviously just going to put in some sample information here just to give you an idea. Now, the main description field, this is going to be the main comments that you see here on the back. This is going to give you the most room to be able to add some custom details about the property. The way this field is set up, you can see a lot of these are really just specification fields where you're just putting in a line of information. This one's a little bit different. As you can see here, it's basically set up so that you're going through and you're putting in information just like you would in a Microsoft Word document. You're typing it all out. You can choose to bold, italicize, or underline things. You can change the alignment of the text. You can do spell checks. You can also paste in text. So if you have the text already written in Word or some other form of text document, you can copy it and then paste it in here through one of these options. Another cool feature as well is you can also pull in suggested copy. This suggested copy button here below this main description. It can be a little intimidating when you first open up a marketing collateral piece if you haven't done this before. So what this does, this just gives you ideas that you can use for different types of things. So things like headlines, I can find different types of headlines. I can find subheadlines, call to actions. I can even find comment sections. And there's a ton of content in here, and it's all specific to real estate. So whether it's talking about, just agent-specific information, commercial information, just listed or just sold, whatever it may be. You can find that content, find something that sounds good, select it, and click Save. And what it'll do now is it's going to automatically import that text right into my order here. This is still customizable text though, so even though it's imported this information, if I want to customize it, add in my name, add in some additional details, or just tailor it a bit more to suit my needs, I can do that. So it kind of gives you just a little bit of creative details that you can then go on and further customize yourself. So it's a pretty cool feature. At this point, now when I go to move forward, what it's going to do is I've already selected my photos, my headshot, and I've input my content information. So as I continue to move forward now, it's actually going to generate a production proof of my job. So this is a very important step of the process because what it's going to do here is generate a production proof, and how the order proofs here is exactly how ExpressDocs is going to print this piece. So it's very, very important for you to make sure when you're going through and putting together an order that you actually look at these proofs. The reason I say that is because when these proofs are generated, if you move forward and you check out with your job, once you've submitted the job, ExpressDocs starts printing these jobs in as little as 10 or 15 minutes, depending. Basically, they just drop straight into a print queue, and then we start printing them just as soon as they're available in the queue. So it's very, very quick. If you submit the order by 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, any job that you're printing and shipping out, we're actually going to ship it out the same day that you order it. If you place the order after 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, it'll ship out the following business day because FedEx will have already come through for the day. Same for mailed orders. We're going to print and pre-sort those for the post office mailing that same day, as long as it's by 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. And any time after that, it'll mail out the following business day. So again, it's a great feature because, like I said, we're getting stuff out the door very, very quickly. The only downside for you guys is just make sure that you're looking at these proofs, because it's very important that once you submit the job, no one else is going to be double checking these jobs for you. And you can see here I have a couple of different options. I can view my PDFs by clicking on them, and I can see all the information I've put in. You also have the ability to view it as a PDF. So if you click View PDF, this will open up a new window here. It'll give you a slightly higher resolution look at your piece. You can also save these PDFs, so if you want to send the proofs to someone, you can also view them that way. And because this postcard has designs on the front and back, you can notice there's a PDF option for both the front and the back. So it's very important to make sure you look at both of these things. And again, how it looks on here is exactly how it's going to print. So let's say, for example, I'm looking at the back of this postcard here, and I can see on that new headshot that I uploaded, the top of the agent's head here is kind of getting cut off a little bit. My headshot's a little bit taller than the field. Basically, what would happen if I move forward and print the job the way I have right here, this is exactly how it's going to look. So just something to notate, what you would want to do here if you wanted to make sure that that headshot fitted a little bit better, you would want to close this, go back one step into the customization part, and then I'd want to crop down that headshot a little bit just to make it so that it's not quite so tall. But again, this is just sort of reiterating the importance of double checking these proofs before you move forward. Now, if everything looks good on this and you're ready to move forward, what you'll need to do is check the terms and acknowledgement here, which is really just validating that you did actually look at your proof before you're moving forward. And once you do that, it'll make the continue button allow you to be able to keep moving forward. So from here, what it's asking me to do is, do I want to mail out these postcards, or do I want to have these postcards shipped out to me directly? On some of the designs that you're working on, for example, if you're putting together business cards, it'll obviously not give you the option to mail. You'll only be able to ship those out. But on anything that is available for mail, you'll get an option to choose. Do you want to ship it or to have it mailed? And you can just pick and choose whichever option is necessary. I'm going to go ahead and walk through the mailing side, so it's a little bit different, and then we'll take a look at shipping on the next order. So if you're mailing out the job, the first thing it's going to ask you is what type of postage do you want to use? So you can see here I can choose between first class mail or standard mail. You'll also be able to see estimated delivery ranges, and then a price including printing, mailing, and your postage cost. So this is a total cost per piece at different quantities. Now, some people may ask what standard mail is, so I'll give a little bit of a brief description on this, just if you're not familiar. Standard mail has a few other names. It's also called bulk mail. Some people call it third class mail. There's a variety of names for it, but it's really just the standard mail option. Now, As you can see, there's a larger delivery range on standard mail versus first-class mail. So a first-class mail, that's basically the equivalent of putting a postage stamp on a piece that you're sending out. First-class mail is always going to be prioritized by the post office. So if you're working on a marketing collateral piece and it has a time-sensitive date, so just as an example, maybe you're doing an open house postcard, that's something where you're probably going to want to make sure that the post office is prioritizing that mail because you want it to deliver before that date. So in a case like that, definitely make sure you're using first-class mail. If you're sending out something and it's not time sensitive, so let's say, for example, some sort of, an agent announcement postcard or just something that's talking a little bit about you as an agent, if it's not time sensitive, there are some benefits for using standard mail. And one of those benefits is that the post office, because of the fact that they don't have to prioritize it, so if they're too busy, they'll just do first class first and then move on to the standard mail. But the benefits to you are they'll take discounts on your postage. So on average, about 11 cents per postcard savings in postage. So if, like I said, if you're not in a rush, it's a really great option to be able to save some additional money because obviously 11 cents per postcard, that'll add up pretty quickly as you're mailing out pieces. I'm going to go ahead and use the standard mail, and then I'll just use next to keep moving forward. Now it's going to give me some options for being able to either create or upload in a mailing list. Now, for some of you guys, you may already have your own mailing databases that you want to use. Well, the good news is you can add in those mailing address lists really, really quickly. We'll automatically do CAS certifications and NCOA certifications for you to scrub your data and make sure it's as good as possible when you're uploading it in. We'll also automatically save any lists that you upload in on file automatically in your account going forward. So you really only need to upload in your custom agent lists or contact lists one time. We also give you the ability to be able to generate custom prospecting or farming lists on the fly right here in the system. We've integrated our system directly into different data providers, companies like Equifax, KnowledgeBase, and Axiom. And depending on the different options that you select, we'll automatically pull data from those data providers right into your order. So you can generate things like a radius list, a street list, every door direct mail databases, or custom demographic lists all right here. So what I'll do, let me actually take a look at each of these real quickly here so you can get an idea for how they work. So let's say you have your own agent or contact list that you want to use on file. Well, you can upload in a list really easily. Just click the Upload List option. We support pretty much every major database format that you can think of. So if you're working on your list and it's in any sort of spreadsheet format, it's probably supported. If you need reference for how it should be formatted in your list, you can open that up as well. It'll pop that open in a new window here. You can see pretty much regardless of how you have it formatted, we'll accept any type of format. The important thing to notate though is just making sure that it's uniform across the board. And what I mean by that is if you have John Smith in column A, row 1, make sure in column A, row 2, you don't have John in column A and Smith in column B, because that can lead to some issues when you're uploading it in if everything is in different columns. So whatever format it is, just make sure that it's a uniform format and you'll be good to go. You can just browse wherever you would have that list saved on file, and then click the Upload button. We'll give you the ability to make quick edits to your list before you upload it in for CAS certification. So if something has come in out of order, or maybe your database is set up a little bit different, you can make quick edits here. Then use the Next button to move forward when you're ready. The last step that it needs to do before it does the CAS certification, you'll see some examples of the records that you're going to upload in. Make sure that that formatting looks correct. If something's out of place, maybe your zip code's in the wrong area or something along those lines, you'll be able to see that right here, and then you can make those changes if necessary. The last two steps that I'll ask you before you approve that is when you're uploading it in, you can either upload it in with no changes, meaning we'll just upload it in exactly the way you have it in your list. If you want to replace the name with something else, some people like to mail things out to, for example, our neighbors at, and then it'll include that list address. If you want to do something like that, you can choose their replace name with and then input any custom name that you want to use. Or you have the option to add in things like or resident or occupant or homeowner below the name. Now, some agents don't like to do this because of the fact it takes away a little bit of the personalization when you're sending out this direct mail. But there are some good benefits for it. So why some people like to do that is basically this ensures 100% deliverability on your mail. Meaning if you are trying to send out a postcard to John Smith and he lives at 123 Main Street, but John Smith has now moved. Well, if you're using first-class mail, what will happen is they're going to forward that mail on and try to find John Smith, and they may forward it around for a while, and if they eventually can't find him, they're going to send those postcards all back to you. If you have or resident below John Smith's name, what will happen is they will try to deliver it to John, but if John no longer lives there, now Jane Smith lives there, they'll instead deliver it to Jane Smith. So if making sure that your piece has to get to John, then you definitely don't want to add this in. You definitely want them to be able to try to forward the mail on or send it back to you so you know that John no longer lives there. But in the event you're just trying to make sure that whoever lives there, that they get this mail piece from you, it's a very good option to add in there because, like I said, it makes sure that you're minimizing any type of mail that's either bouncing around or returning back to you. I'm just going to leave it on no changes for now. You can also name the list, and this it's just going to default to whatever you named your order. So obviously it's pulling in test order here, but you can also name it something specific. So, if this is a specific group of clients that you have, you can just name it whatever's going to make it easier for you to identify these clients. Once you click approved, we're going to do that live cast certification here, and it just takes a few moments to do that. And what this is doing is scrubbing your data to tell you how clean your list is that you're uploading. You can see right here what it's showing me is that 99 of the records are good and are going to be included in the order, and then one of the records was bad and is going to be excluded from my order. So when I click finished, basically what that is telling me is it's going to upload all 100 records from this list into my account, and we'll save this list going forward. But if I try to use this list on an order, ExpressBox is only going to charge me for the 99 good records, and it's only going to print and mail to those 99 good records. So we'll keep all the records in even if they've failed, but our system will automatically not try to print or mail to any records that fail. So it just helps make sure that you're not spending money and time trying to mail out to pieces that we know the post office is not going to be able to deliver. And you can see I have that list in my account now, and if I want to use on an order, it'll have a check mark next to it. If you have multiple lists, you can also check multiple options. If you want to edit a list, or maybe you want to know which of those records failed and why they failed, you can view the data by clicking this edit icon next to the address list, and it'll open it up and I can edit it or view what things failed. You can also delete out address lists that you have on file by clicking the trash can icon to remove them. To edit them, like I said, just click that pencil icon. We'll automatically sort your data so that all of the records that may have failed are pulled to the top just to make it easier for you to access them. And if you want to see specifically why they failed, you can edit that specific address, and it'll tell you exactly why it failed. So what it's showing me here is that this address failed cast because that address is vacant. So there's actually nothing wrong with the address. There's no one there right now. So if I try to mail it there, the post office is just going to either dispose of the mail for me or bounce it back to me. So obviously I wouldn't want to mail that piece out. Sometimes if you notice here that it's saying, hey, your street number is wrong, maybe the zip code is wrong, you can actually make changes. So if it's a grammatical error, you can actually update it and then click the update button, and that could fix it. It'll recast certify that address if you make any changes to it. I'm just going to back out of that. And real quickly, let's take a look at some of these other options that you can do. So let's say you want to mail to these 99 good records that you have, but maybe you also want to target a radius list. So maybe you want to also target some other addresses that are nearby to a property that you just listed. To do that, click on the radius list. You can input a property address. As you can see, it's trying to pull in the address that I have here on file. Actually, you know what? That's a good one. I'm just going to use my office address here in Fort Worth. So it'll ask for the property address, and then it's going to ask you for the zip code. You can specify the type of records you want to pull, so single and multifamily, multifamily only, or single family only. And you can also specify how many records you want to pull. So if I want to pull the 50 closest records around this address here, I can just input 50, click search, and now it's going to do a quick database query and tell me where it's going to pull all these records from. So it's going to pull one record from Beach Street, 47 from Northern Cross, and then 2 from Tanna Cross to give me the 50 closest records to that starting point. So it's a really quick way for you to be able to generate a database and be able to mail out to that list. And then all the records that it's pulling here, these are all records that are updated about every 6 weeks or so they're always fresh and up to date, and it's only going to pull good records for you when it's generating this. These may not be the 50 closest records in terms of the physical. You could, for example, have a home right next to this house, but if it doesn't pull that record, that means there's something wrong with that. For example, maybe it's a vacant home. So it'll just pull the 50 closest good records. You'll need to click the Agree to the Terms and Conditions to approve it. And what that is, if you're generating a radius list or a street list, it has a one-time cost of 5 cents per record to generate that list. And that's basically a cost that's being incurred by the data provider, so we're just sort of passing that through directly to you. So for example, if I'm creating this list of 50 records here, there's going to be a one-time cost at checkout of $2.50. Now at that point, once I use this radius list that I created on an order, I'm going to automatically have that list saved in my account so I can use it again as many times as I want going forward. It's a one-time charge. I can download this list later. I can export it as a spreadsheet. Whatever I need it for, it's basically your data. But all the way up until that point, you can see now, for example, I can't actually edit this list or view the records in it. And it's because even though I've created this list, I still haven't used it on an order yet. So all the way up until I check out with this list, I won't be able to view any of the data yet. So just making you aware, if you're trying to create a list and then go in and look at the records, if you see this buy button, that basically means you've created the list, but you haven't actually used it on an order yet. So you'll need to do that before you can view all the records in it. Street lists operate pretty much the same as radius lists, but instead of putting in a target starting point and then a number of records, you're just putting in one street name at a time and then pulling each of those streets. So it's a good way if you're maybe trying to target a neighborhood specifically. That's a great way to be able to pull that. And again, the cost on that is 5 cents per record. Every door direct mail is the longer term for EDDM. Some agents are familiar with it, some agents are not. If you're already using it, you're probably familiar with how it works. But basically, you're traditionally targeting whole carrier routes, usually larger mailings. Basically, if you are doing every door direct mail, this is a great way to automate that because you can pull whole carrier route lists right through our system here. You just put in your carrier route number. It'll automatically pull in all the records for that carrier route. And you can mail that out, and you'll be able to get additional discount savings on your postage of up to an additional 6 cents on top of the 11 cents you're already getting as standard mail. So it's a great way to be able to mail out larger numbers in bulk at a really cost-effective way. And last but not least, you can also pull in custom demographics. So what this would be for, this would be if you're trying to target a very highly targeted group of people. So you can select from different parameters to determine what type of records you're going to pull. So for example, if I want to pull in people that are over age 50 that make over $100,000 a year, that own their own home and have lived there for more than 10 years, I can specify all those parameters and then generate a database of people that match that. You can also see I can specify things like their gender, their net worth, their residence value, things like that, to basically create a highly targeted demographic list. Now, the cost for these records is a little bit higher. It's somewhere in the range of about 9 to 11 cents per record, depending on what options that I select. So if I pull 100 of these records, it's going to cost me either $9 or $11, somewhere in that range to create this database. And again, just like the others, once I create it and purchase it, it's my list to keep. So this is a great feature for if you're trying to pull that. One thing I will note on this, the more restrictive your parameters are, meaning, if I'm trying to target people that are worth $2 million up that are renting a home or whatever it may be, once you move forward to generate the geographic side of it, sometimes you may find that you have to expand out your records. So for example, if you're looking at a 1 mile radius and that area doesn't have a lot of people that meet those records, it may only be able to pull 2 or 3 records that actually match that. So just make sure as you're doing this that you may have to expand either the geographic area to hit the target number of records you're looking for, or maybe you just need to lower some of the parameters down a little bit. Maybe you don't necessarily need to look for people that are making over $2 million. Maybe they just need to be, over $500,000. So you'll want to be able to go back and forth making updates and changes to these parameters to kind of create the list that's going to get you both the targets that you're looking for, but also enough records to make it suitable to mail out. So I'm going to go ahead and back up here. So let's say you wanted to move forward with these 2 pieces here. You've got the list that you've uploaded in and you've created that radius list, and this is what I want to use on this postcard that I've put together. So now if I want to mail both, make sure they're both selected, and then just use that next button to move forward. It's just once again confirming for me of that list that I've uploaded in, 98 passed, 1 failed, and technically this one, it's showing that one of the records, it didn't fail, but it is a little sketchy. So I should be aware that that one, the post office may or may not be able to deliver that. And really what we're doing here is just, again, reiterating just how good your data is. If you're uploading in a list and you're noticing that half of your records are failing, well, there's one of two things that's going on in a case like that. Either maybe there's a formatting issue with the list when you uploaded it in. Maybe you've got something out of place and it's causing a bunch of the records to fail because it's not formatted correctly. Or maybe it's just old data and maybe the information just may not be up to date anymore. So just something to look at. You can also reach out to our customer service department if you have questions about things you want them to also double check, so they'd be happy to look at it. On any mailed order, we'll automatically send out a sample card, meaning you can see here it's just pulling in my sample information here, but this will automatically pull in your information. If you want to edit where that sample card goes, meaning maybe I want it to go to my house, maybe I want it to go to a client, I can edit that and specify exactly where I want that postcard to go. It's a good indicator for generally when your piece is going to start delivering. You can also specify enhanced coating options. So on postcards, we automatically apply a high gloss UV finish to the front of the postcards at no cost. You can see it's automatically selected. It helps with the durability of the piece and it looks good, so I'd recommend just leaving that on there. You can also schedule future fulfillment dates. You can see here this is not selected by default, and if you don't specify this, we'll just print and mail out or print and ship out, whatever it may be, your product just as soon as we get the order. So that's the default, and that is what most people want. But let's say, for example, maybe you're working on this postcard, but you know Memorial Day is coming up, and you don't want these postcards to get lost in the mail, but you do have time to submit this job now. So what you could do, you could put together the job and check out now, but I could specify that I would like to schedule a future fulfillment date, and I could pick a day to mail these out after. So for example, if Memorial Day is Monday, May 29th, I could specify that I don't want to print and mail these out until Monday the 30th. And now I can check out today, but ExpressDocs isn't going to print and mail these out until after the holiday. So it's a good way to kind of make sure you're scheduling out pieces to deliver, around maybe busy times like the holidays, or maybe you're going on vacation next week and you don't want to worry about those business cards shipping out until you get back. So there's a few different ways you can use that. But again, by default, that won't be selected, and we're just going to print and mail it out as soon as possible. So if that's what you want to do, just leave that alone and you won't have to worry about it. And with that, we've completed everything we need, so we are ready to check out this job. So you can see it's taken us to the checkout screen here. It's giving me the confirmation, we're mailing to the total number of records, which is going to be the records that I uploaded and then the list that I created. You'll notice there will be a one-time charge if you are creating a radius, a street list, or a demographic list on there. You can see there's that $2.50 charge. If I want to continue shopping, meaning that I've put together this order and I'm ready to check out, I can click the Continue Shopping, and it'll add this order to my shopping cart, and then I can work on other orders as well. If I'm ready to complete this job, I will need to click the Proceed to Checkout button. And from here, I'm going to need to specify my credit card information, and you can choose to save your credit card information if you'd like. It is a secure site. It's up to you. You'll need to input your credit card information, your billing address, and this is very important. All the way up until this point, even though we've put the whole order together, we've uploaded lists and created lists, until I click Complete Checkout, this job has not been submitted yet. So it's very important to make sure you get all the way to the end. You have to click this button to finish your job. You'd be surprised how many people get all the way to the end and then think they submitted it, but they didn't. So just make sure you get to the end, click Complete Checkout. You'll know you clicked it because it'll give you an order confirmation screen. It'll give you an order ID number. It will also generate an email to your account as well, just letting you know that you did submit that job. So again, just make sure you go all the way to the end and click that to finish this job. You can also, at this point, if you wanted to, you could click Continue Shopping. It'll add that order to my shopping cart and then take me back to the home screen. So you can see now I'm back where we started, but I also have the ability, you can see up here in my shopping cart, I now have an item in there. And if I want to proceed back to the checkout, at any point in time I can click that and it'll take me back so I can finish that postcard order that I started. All right, and I realize we're kind of running low on time, so I'm going to real quickly take a look at business cards. These have some variable icons that you can choose from, so it's a little bit different. So I want to take a quick look at those so you can see how that works, and then we'll take a minute or two for any questions that you may have. So if you have some questions and you're thinking about those, go ahead and submit in some of those questions now, and we'll try to get those answered just as soon as we can. So I'll go ahead and open up the business cards. I'll select those. Now, one thing you're going to probably notice right off the bat when we've selected this is this looks a lot like what we saw when we first started editing together our postcards. And that's because the way we've constructed the site is however whichever products you're working on, they're going to all follow the exact same process to put together and customize. So regardless of whatever product that is, if you've walked through putting together one order, you can probably walk through putting together any of them. So what it's asking me here is to just name the job, so I can name it whatever I want. Again, I'd recommend using something more memorable than what I'm using just to make sure you can find these later on. And then use the next button to keep moving forward. Now on the business cards, they do have these different designation fields, and these are not all required fields. So you can pick and choose different options that you have. Things like your cell phone, your email address, fax number, phone number, URL. And you can pick and choose what order you want to have these in. So maybe I want to have my phone numbers first, so I could have my cell phone number, then my phone number, and my email address, and then last but not least, my website. And maybe I don't have a fax number, so I'm going to leave that one off so I can pick and choose which ones I would like to use. And now when I move forward to customize it, I can see I'm going to have my options here where I can specify all of my custom content. So I'm going to input my name, add your title, your office information, or your address. And then you're going to want to add in those custom fields that you have. So your phone numbers that you added in, your email address, and your website. Now, when I move forward here, it's going to also generate a proof. And again, this is just like what I was saying before. It's very, very important. I know I already said it before, but make sure that when you're looking at these, that you do verify that all of the information is correct. If you're seeing something that is incorrect on these proofs, you're going to want to make sure that you go back and make any changes that are necessary before you submit the job. So you can see here, I can see there's all my information, my phone numbers, the options. You can see it's updated my design since I don't have a fax number to not include that in my information here. And again, if you try to move forward without checking this customer agreement, it won't let you move forward with the continue button. So you will need to check the terms and acknowledgement, just verifying you did look at your pieces before you moved forward. And you're going to want to click the continue button to keep moving forward. On any of the ship jobs, you'll have options to pick different quantities, so as few as 100, or you can pick whatever quantity you may need. Some of the products are also going to have options for custom finishes, so things like if you want to add on a high gloss coating or a matte finish or things like that, you can also choose to add on these optional finishes. The scheduled future fulfillment date, which we just talked about. I'm just going to leave it all in the defaults for now. So here's where it's a little bit different than what we saw with the postcards that are mailed out. I do also have the ability, since these cases I'm going to be shipping it out, it just needs to know where would you like me to ship these pieces. So it's going to default to your office address that you have on file. In this case, it's just pulling in my demo office information here. But you can also choose to specify a shipping address. So if I want these to maybe ship to my home or to a different address that's not my office, I can just click specify a ship to address and then input whatever shipping address that I would like to have these shipped to. Once you click save this address, we'll automatically save this this address going forward, and we'll save up to 6 different addresses on file in your account. Just to keep it easy, I'm just going to leave it on the ship to my office so you can see how that works. And then it's really just needing to know what service level. So you'll have different options. FedEx or SmartPost, FedEx ground options. You'll see some estimated delivery ranges below there that you can choose from. 2-day, standard overnight. So if you need to rush things, there's going to be options for standard overnight or priority overnight or 2-day delivery. But we're also going to give you free options as well. So if you're not in a rush, you're going to be able to use things like the FedEx SmartPost, and we won't charge you for any type of shipping using the base options there. So if you're not in a rush, it's a great way to be able to ship things out and never have to pay any shipping costs on them. And other than that, that's pretty much the primary difference between a mailed order or shipped order. It's obviously there's a little bit less steps involved since you're not needing to create any address lists or upload in any address lists. And now it's taken us to the checkout. I'm just going to go ahead and click continue shopping to add that to my cart, and you can see now I have 2 items in my cart, which is going to be that postcard that I put together and then the business cards that I put together. One thing to note on here too, there are several other products that are coming in the business cards right now. There are some more business cards that are going to be coming as well, and there's also some additional custom postcards. They were supposed to be completed by Friday of this week, but they're still in the final stages of QA. So you may see some additional products that are posting in here, and definitely keep an eye on that. And I'm sure we'll be working with Carmen in the future on other products as well. So don't feel like there are quite a few products posted on here right now, but don't feel like this is everything. Don't be surprised to see more content coming, more custom pieces coming as well in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the call right here, and we'll see if we have any questions, and then we will go from there. Okay, and I see there are some questions on, yes, Carmen had put together some custom postcard designs, and those are actually going to be live, I think, later today. They were supposed to have been live on Friday before the call, but they're still in QA right now. I apologize about that. But there are some additional postcards coming as well that'll include some custom postcard designs that Carmen had put together showing different types of key locations throughout Las Vegas. That it's a really cool piece. I think you guys are going to like it a lot. Those will be available here in the postcard section. You'll be able to access those custom postcards from there. I apologize, I can't show you those just right now, but they will be live. Let's see, is there any other questions that have come in? All right. All right, looks like I think we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, this is a recorded. Oh, okay, here's a question that came through. It says, is there a way to get a JPEG of the proof if they purchase it? How it'll work is you won't be able to get a JPEG of it, but you would be able to get a PDF of the job, meaning any of the jobs that you work on, once you complete the job, you can go into your order history, and then you can find the proof of the job that you put together. So for example, if I submit a job for those postcards, I can then go into my order history, and I'll be able to find a PDF proof of my job in there. And then you should be able to save that PDF as whatever you want. You can take a screenshot of it, save that as a JPEG. So if you needed to convert that PDF to something else, you can do that usually pretty easily through most computers. So yeah, it won't export it as a JPEG, but you will be able to get PDFs of any job that you submit in the system. The question is without the word proof across it. I believe it is going to show the term proof on there just because it's going to be a watermark. I'll double check that for you, but yeah, I do think it is going to be watermarked. If you guys need the ability to have just generate high resolution PDFs without any watermarks on it, that is a feature that we can turn on where we can create basically the ability to create and download custom PDFs without doing any printing. They usually have a one-time charge for basically generating that high-res file. I think it's like one-time $5 charge for per download. So if you need to create custom downloads, but you don't actually want to print anything, that is an option we can do. If that's something you guys think there'll be interest for, just reach out to Carmen on that. She can work directly with me, and we can turn on things like that pretty easily. So yeah, if you're just trying to actually view a proof of it or share a proof with someone, the best way to do it is to pull that from your order history. But if you're looking for something more custom than that, just let Carmen know, and she can work with us on giving you guys the ability to have those custom downloads. All right, and that looks like that answers the questions that I see. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for taking time out of your busy schedules for this. Once this call is over, I'm going to be sending out an updated link. It'll probably take about 30 or so minutes to get the video processed, but you guys can expect to have that video shortly. We're really excited to be working with you guys, and I hope to be hearing from you all soon. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a good afternoon.